Welcome to Ask the Expert, an award-winning daily series from 8:30 to 9 a.m. to help small businesses. If you have any questions, then ask them in the comments of the live feed. If you need any more advice, join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. During the live session, we will be running a poll, so please do engage with it and I'll reveal the results at the end of it. I'm Michaela Wain. I was on BBC The Apprentice a few years ago. However, I have actually been in business for 11 years, all within the construction industry. I have several businesses, a construction magazine, a marketing agency, a lead generation platform, a facilities management company, and a utility connection business. Like I said, I've been in business for 11 years. I started my first company because I was selling advertising at another construction magazine, and I'd hit a glass ceiling because basically I wasn't an older man, and apparently you had to be that to fit the job description. So like all of you, I decided to take the plunge and started my own business, which was an online construction magazine. Now, 11 years ago, when I launched my company and went online, there was nobody else doing that within the construction space. So I thought I was being a real genius and breaking the mold. But it turns out that people in construction can be like dinosaurs at times, and they just weren't ready for it. So actually 2 years into our journey, we had to flick back and do a hard copy magazine as well. But I still really understood the value of things being digital. So we kept the two running side by side. And the reason for this is when anything's digital, for instance, the magazine, I can read all of the analytics. So if I give somebody a magazine and it sits on an office desk, we never really know who's picked it up and who's done what. But when it's a digital magazine, I can say, this is how long somebody spent on your advert. This is how many people click through to your websites. You can get click-throughs to your websites. So for me, there's far more benefits of being digital. With all the other businesses that I'm involved with, I either invested monetary-wise or otherwise invested monetary-wise and also using our marketing services. And we really saw these businesses expand and scale. The first one I did was about 8 years ago, and they're turning over millions now. And it's due to good leadership, but obviously the marketing skills that we brought to that as well to get them the exposure that they needed. So I'm a real lover of digital marketing and firmly believe that all businesses should be doing some elements of it. But the clients who I speak to often get overwhelmed with all the information that's out there. So I'm going to try to break this down as simply as I can for you in the next few minutes. Now, if you imagine marketing to be an octopus, and the body of that octopus is your website, this is the most important part of all your marketing that you do. And the reason for that is no matter what you do elsewhere, you're going to be sending people back to this website. So this has got to be running smoothly, and you've got to keep working on it. It's also should be working for you as a sales funnel. So you've got strong call to actions, and when people land on your website, you're able to capture their information. Now, if you look at the octopus tentacles, then each of these should be a different strategy. So some of the strategies that we incorporate for the clients who we work for would be SEO, social media, PR, e-campaigns, magazine adverts, paid clicks, paid socials. So there's lots going on out there, but each one is just a different tentacle that ultimately is going to lead your client back to your website. Now, digital marketing, again, can be very pricey if you don't know what you're doing. However, there's lots of free stuff that you can do. First of all, you've got to understand where your target audience is and who your target audience is. So are you selling business to business? If so, then you want to be on LinkedIn and Twitter. If you're selling business to consumer, then you want to be on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So understand where your target audience is and focus your efforts on those if you're going to be doing them in-house. The free services, which I would suggest businesses do, you need to be creative with it, but you can do social media. You can follow a hashtag called journal request on Twitter, and journalists from all over the country will go in there and say, I'm looking for an expert opinion on X, Y, and Z. And if that's within your niche, then you'll contact the journalist and get featured in the press free of charge. Pay me later for that one. You can do blog posts. Again, if you're not very good at creative writing, which I am not, I'm dyslexic, then there's an app you can download called Otter. And what we suggest is you ask your 10 frequently most asked questions, and then talk into Otter, which is a voice recording app, and answer those questions. It will then turn that into written content for you, and then you've got the foundations of a blog post. What we do with the blogs that we write is send them out to the industry, to other blog sites, to other industry websites, and ask them to feature this blog on their website, because backlinks really help with search engine optimization. So it's really going to improve your rankings for your website on search engines. The other thing which I'm a real lover of is e-campaigns, and this can be doing e-campaigns to using external databases, or just e-campaigns to the current database that you've got, making sure that you're keeping in touch with your clients. But what you need to be doing with everything in marketing, whatever material you're putting out there, you've got to be adding value. You want to position yourself as an expert. So if you looked at my social media, then you would literally be able to run a marketing agency from all of the tips and all of the blogs that I do. I tell you absolutely everything about what I do in my company. There are no secrets. And the reason for that is it's just time consuming. People are not going to be able to do it as well as what I do, and it's going to take them a long time. But the messages that I'm giving out, because they make sense, then they're going to come to me because I've positioned myself as an expert in that industry. So really be making sure that you're adding value to everybody. And the final piece to digital marketing, and the most important piece, is the analytics, making sure that you're reading and understanding what your marketing is doing for you. So if you do a paid social media advert, what's your return on that? What was the cost of acquisition of the client? How many people have clicked through to your website? How many people have inboxed you? What call to action did you have? Really understanding who's coming from where and being sent through to your website so that your marketing can keep improving. It's very much a work in progress and trial and error when it comes to marketing. So read those analytics, because that's going to help you grow. So I'm going to move over to some questions. I see we've got some coming through. The first one is from Sarase. Hope I've said that right. Probably not. From Facebook Messenger. Hi, Michaela. Great to see you on the show as an ambassador for women in the construction industry. What are the key aspects that you are focusing on? Currently, I am actually, I chaired a roundtable a couple of weeks ago with influencers within the construction industry to try and develop I've developed a roadmap which we're going to take to government level for diversity and inclusion in the industry. And I'm hoping to put in an accreditation. So all construction companies will have to have this award to weight tenders going forward. So I don't have an individual focus. I think there's a lot wrong with diversity and inclusion in the construction industry. So my aim is to tackle and challenge the full industry. Not an easy feat, but I'm sure I'm going to do it. Thank you very much for your question. Alberto from Instagram DM. Hi, how was the experience of running companies been during this pandemic? Personally, I'm exhausted. I've lost sales and had to put several employees on furlough. Yes, thank you. It's Adalberto, so sorry for that. Thank you very much for your question. And it's just something that I get asked all the time. I really believe in being honest. So It's been an absolute killer. It's just been a complete nightmare. The first lockdown as well. I think just the world stopped, or certainly everybody in the UK did. We just stopped trading. A couple of my businesses was all right because they're in construction, so the utility connection company, all their business carried on as normal. The FM company again continued as normal because they're essential, but the marketing agency, my lead generation platform, it all paused. And during that time, we adapted how we traded and tried to find new clients and honed in on different aspects of what we were selling and just really focused on that. So for us, the most important thing, as I said, a website. So we really promoted websites, and what we found over time is that directors had so much time to work on the business because there was no longer working within the business, that actually we started to pick up leads again. And the last couple of months they've really picked up, but it's really volatile at the minute. So we'll have 1 month where we're at 150% of where we was this time last year, and then another month where we're at 10%. So it's really difficult to project and plan. And like you, I had a lot of people on furlough and then on flexi furlough, but we stayed in touch with all the staff, made sure that everybody was happy and sweet throughout, and that they was ready to be cracking on when we're back in the office, which hopefully is going to be bloody soon if Boris sorts himself out. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. Just don't give up is my best piece of advice. If your business was working before the pandemic, it'll work after it. You've just got to ride out this storm. So the best of luck there. Another question off June Pay from Twitter DM. How do you convert your social media followers into leads? Any tips? Yes, so with all of our social media, we try to push them through to our website. We'll do some call to actions, which will be inbox us, but during the conversation in the inbox, we will then try and encourage them to get over to the website. And on our website, it acts like a sales funnel. So if you don't do this, then you really need to do it. On your website, you need to have a lead magnet. So that's some kind of piece of information or a free product or service that's so invaluable that for them to download it or to receive it, they're going to give you your contact detail. They're going to give you their contact details. And then it goes straight into our CRM. So we say download a free marketing plan template, which feel free to go over and download it, or download our free social media content planner. And when they download this, I get their email address, company name and contact number. And then I send them a sequence of emails selling other services. I'll give them a call. And it's at that point that we convert people. It's very difficult to convert somebody off just one point of contact. I think it's proven that it takes 7 touch points at least. So you want to be pushing them through to the website and then sending them sequence emails. That's what we do. Hope that helped. Suzanne from Instagram DM. I'm setting up a new business, an e-commerce site selling clothes and accessories. It's for women, but I'm not sure who will be buying from me yet. Do you have any tips on how I can understand how my target audience might be? I guess on who your target audience might be. Yeah, Suzanne. So I'm a firm believer in niching down and niching down again. So you need to look at your products and your competitors and who their target audience is if you have no understanding yourself. But I'm sure you would understand if a top is going to be more appealing to a 50-year-old woman or if it's going to be more appealing to an 18-year-old woman. So start off with the real basics of that audience and try and niche it down as much as you can. And then is this a real high-end top? So then I'll be looking at women in the 30s who are single and they're going to wear these clothes on a night out? Or are you looking at an 18-year-old girl who's going to wear it to the clubs with her mates? So you need to imagine and create this avatar of who this ideal person is who's going to be wearing your clothes. So if you don't know yet because you don't have the history of it, then you need to create that person, and then that's how you're going to form your marketing around it. however you imagine them to be, then start targeting that person. So there's loads of things on the internet. You'll be able to Google it, creating an avatar, and they'll have all different box sections on that. Again, if you go to Framework Marketing, there's a free marketing plan template on there, and it has some hints and tips and advice if you need more about that. Hope that helped. Niche down though, that is key. Lennon from Twitter DM, morning Michaela, how do we build our current customer into our advocates? What can you do to get existing clients to spread positive word of mouth and tell others to buy your products or services? Great question, to be fair. It's difficult because I can't speak to you, but I would be hoping that these clients are repeat clients, they're constantly buying for you. The first thing is ask them for testimonials, because then they'll be your advocates through you. So what we do is we'll ask everybody for a testimonial structured in what was your problem, what solution was you looking for, did we achieve it, would you use us again, or would you recommend us? That way you get a testimonial structured exactly how you need it, so that your future clients are going to read it and think, oh God, yeah, that's my problem. Oh yeah, actually I really want that solution, so now I'm going to go to Lennon for this. So ask for the testimonials and then post it all over your social media, your websites. For us, the biggest seller on our social media posts with actually the least engagement is testimonials. So yeah, get the testimonial and then you post it yourself. But also giving out rewards as well and recommendation fees. So I don't know what your product or service is, but if it's a high ticket item, then you can be saying to them, oh, we'll give you X% if you can recommend us to somebody, or we'll give you this for free if they end up booking with us. So offering some kind of rewards or recommendation package, but definitely getting the testimonial from them as well. Then when you post your testimonials, you tag them back in it, they'll see it as free publicity for them. So, and hopefully they'll start advocating you more. Rita from Facebook Messenger, what was the name of the app that you mentioned could help writing blog posts? Definitely something I'll check out. It's Otter, OTTER. It's a voice recording app. It's free of charge. You can upgrade if you pay for it, but I think it's only about £3 a month anyway. And it's really good. The videos that we post online, we use that for the subtitles to it. My accent is obviously very strong, so we normally need to assist all videos with subtitles as well. So you can use it for that as well as blog posts. There's lots of uses for it. Another question from Rai from Instagram DM. If you were to partner with any of your apprentice mates, who would you choose and why? Oh, great question. Well, actually, I have partnered with one of them in more than one sense. I met my partner on The Apprentice, Harrison, and we had the first apprentice baby. But on top of that, my facilities management business that I own with Harrison. He was a property developer in London, and I had an FM company up north, mainly just working in the northwest. So we put the two businesses together, and we've worked on it over the last 3 years and have turned it into a national business. So yes, a partner in life and a partner in business. And the reason I chose them is I don't really know, but he's very good at business and he's very good at sales. So it's all working out for the time being. So there's another question. Pia from Twitter DM. How do you manage your time between your different businesses? I've just set up my second company. I wish the day had 48 hours. Yes, I feel that pain. So again, a great question. When I set up my first company, I'd put the operations in place as I was scaling, so I'd be able to remove myself from that business, so I wasn't going to be pulled from pillar to post. And in each of the companies, I have an amazing director or several directors who run the companies really for me, and I just sit on the board and will do all the marketing for them. So I think it's really key as entrepreneurs. We all get attracted to shiny new objects, as they say, and you want to move on to the next venture, but you've really got to make sure that your original venture is stable and you've got the legs to that to be able to move away from it. So if you're working on the first business and working on the second business, then I don't know how you're going to do it. You're going to need 48 hours there. But I would suggest looking at the operations of the first company and seeing, do you need somebody else there if you're not going to be there, or is there a way that you can automate what you do? So for me, I can automate a lot of what I do marketing wise. There's loads of services out there that we use to automate a sales process, which allowed me to step away from that main role. Yeah, so make sure the foundations are right. I hope that answers your question, Pia. Cher from Facebook Messenger. Good morning, Michaela. What would you advise young entrepreneurs who are planning to start their own business in the near future? My dream is to set up my own company one day. Well, amazing for just having the thought, because for every single person who's got a business, it just started off with a thought, and then the next thing you might have £1 million business or £1 billion business. So well done for getting to this point. I think my advice to everybody is always, you've just got to do it. And there's never going to be a perfect time for you to start a company. I started my first business at 25 with a 5-month-old crawling around my living room, zero business experience whatsoever. All I knew was how to sell adverts in a magazine and how to market, and I learned everything along the way. I don't think you will ever meet an entrepreneur who said, oh, the time was absolutely bang on because I'd won all this money, I was stable, my family was set up. It just doesn't happen. So my key advice is going to be, just do it. Just start the business and learn along the way. If you can find a mentor, somebody who's been there and done that and who will help you out and do it for free, then that'll be invaluable for you as well. It's something that I didn't ever have until I was years and years into my business, but really, really useful. So go for it, Cher, and find yourself a mentor. Lily from Twitter DM. Hi, Michaela. Any tips on how to overcome the fear of public speaking and be better at pitching? I'm doing some freelance work on the side and need to boost my confidence for client pitches. Yes, Lily. So I have really suffered for years and years with social anxiety. It was really bad. I didn't leave my house at one point for 6 months. And so I never would have done this before. I never would have done any form of public speaking. And I'd slowly got better. When I had my first son, I realised that I couldn't let this social anxiety consume my life because it was hindering my life. So I would push myself. So if I was going to go into a situation that I was uncomfortable with, instead of turning around and not doing it, I would just make myself do it. And then slowly over time, I realised that, oh, actually, that wasn't that bad, and that wasn't that bad. And the more that you do something, the more that your confidence builds with it. And then when the main reason that I applied for the Apprentice wasn't actually for the investment. I was already doing quite well, and I knew I'd be able to start this business anyway. Don't want that to sound arrogant. I was just confident. But I could feel the social anxiety coming back. And my brother had previously been on Love Island, and he seemed like he had a lot of fun. So I thought, what better way to combat anxiety than to go on The Apprentice and be seen in front of 9 million people, be away from my family environment. And I went from having maybe 3 or 4 panic attacks a day to I've never had one since I went through that process. So that's really extreme. I mean, go for The Apprentice, it's great. But it's really an extreme version. But the point being, if you just put yourself in those uncomfortable situations often enough, they will stop being uncomfortable. Yeah, and unlike me, perhaps just try to take your time and talk slow. I don't like to learn everything that I'm going to be saying either. I just have bullet points of things, and I stick to what I know, so that if I lose my way during what I'm saying, then just exactly what I'm doing now, actually. so if I lose my way, then at least it's going to be a story about me, or it's about my experience. So I know how to pick it back up again and crack on with the pitch. So best of luck with that, Lily. I really feel your pain. Hayate from Facebook Messenger. Morning, Michaela. When working with clients in the same construction industry, how do you make sure your proposals and strategies are customized to them? Don't most clients have similar requirements? No, to be fair, they don't. My expertise is in construction, and I understand that target audience, but within construction, there's so many different sectors that there's lots of different target audience within the industry as well. So some people might want to be pitching a site manager or a quantity surveyor, or they may want to pitch the managing director. They may want to only pitch one-man bands, or they might want to pitch large blue chip companies. And so for all of those, the message is going to be different. So as an agency, we really have to put ourselves in the shoes of the client, understand their product and service inside out. We do research on all of the competitors. We do research on the business. We understand where they're trying to get it to. So where their business plan's taking them over the next 12 months, what targets they want to hit. And then we know how to build in the marketing strategies to that. Because if you want to increase your business from £0 to £1 million in a year, then you're going to have to be investing a lot in a marketing plan. But if you want to turn it from £0 to £100,000, then there's a lot of stuff that you can do really cheap. So every person and every client is individual. I have an understanding of the industry and how those sectors like to be spoken to. So they like to be spoken to in layman's terms. They don't like fancy lingo. So these bits that we already understand is great for the foundations, but ultimately every client is individual and their target audience is different, so they all need to be treated differently. Another question off Mushtaq from Twitter DM. Good morning. What has been the most difficult and challenging aspect of running your business, and how have you managed to overcome it? So great question, and again, one that I get asked frequently. And I would say it's staff, recruiting staff, retaining staff, training staff, dealing with the dramas of staff as well. And we have an amazing foundation of staff across all of our companies. Some of them have been with us since the very beginning. Some of them may have been with us for 8 years, and those are our solid members of staff who won't be going anywhere. But it's bringing new people in and getting them to understand our culture, our mission, getting them on board with everything, because you can get the best digital marketing expert on the planet, but then if they come into the business and they're not fitting in, or their mission isn't aligned with ours, it's really difficult, because I don't want to change the mission that I'm on. So they might not always fit personality wise. And I think, just like everybody, recruiting the right staff, finding the right people. I just genuinely used to give everybody a job in the early days, because I would see a part of me in everybody and think, oh, they'll be able to turn around being good at sales because I didn't know anything. Somebody give me a chance. But in doing so, I was just giving chances to everybody and just absolutely throwing money against the wall. So I've been a bit stricter now with the recruitment process. I don't just offer a job to anybody, and they'll have a telephone interview, a first interview, a second interview. Depending which business it's in, they may come in for half a day as well, to see if their values are aligned with our values, and if they're going to blend in as well with the business. So yeah, it's been staff, but there's been a lot that we've changed over the last 11 years to protect ourselves and to protect the foundations of our business, being the other core members of staff. So I hope that has helped. So I am just going to have a look at the poll results. We asked you, have you ever sacrificed anything for your employees? 50% of you said yes, 50% of you said no. I think that's harsh. I can't believe 50% of you said no. I think as a business leader, I have sacrificed a lot for my staff to keep the business going, especially in the pandemic. I've not been paid a single penny to make sure that everybody's been able to be topped up and been able to pay their bills. I think it's really important, especially key members of staff. You've got to keep them happy, and there will be sacrifices if you're all going to be happily working together. In future, you know, your business is your baby, but without your staff, you wouldn't have a business as well. So I would be contemplating looking after them a bit better. Right, okay, so thank you all for tuning in. If you want to connect with me, you can send me a DM on Instagram. My handle is @MichaelaWain1, or I'm on LinkedIn, or just search Michaela Wain on Google and you'll find me. On the 6th of April, Ask the Expert turns 1 year. To highlight this milestone, Intuit QuickBooks will be running a competition where 3 people can win an Oculus Quest 2. All you have to do is to tune in to the live show and ask a question in the live feed of Facebook and YouTube. Coming up on Ask the Expert on Monday is Eva Mrazikova, who works as an accountancy market specialist at Iris Software Group and also has her own accountancy practice. Tune in to learn about the IR35 changes coming in April. Don't forget to join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. Thank you for tuning in and have a great weekend, everyone.